Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day today. This is your daily tarot reading for Friday, February 1st, 2019. Today I wanted to do something just a little bit different than I usually do, than the usual daily reading, because tomorrow is Imbolc, and this is a holiday celebrating the goddess Bridget, celebrating the return of spring, the return of sunlight and warmth. And because of that, I wanted to do a special kind of reading using only the tarot of the Orishas. Bridget herself is a Celtic god. She is generally heard about in places like Ireland, Scotland, Wales. That's where I think in Ireland is where you will find Bridget's fountain or Bridget's shrine in Kildare. She is the patron goddess of Maiden Circle of my organization. She is the goddess of poetry, the goddess of fire, the goddess of arts and creativity. She has also been sometimes known to be the goddess of women and of mothers, not in the same way that like a goddess like Hera would be, but she is very nurturing in her way, but her nurture is often seen as more aggressive and more, this has to happen or, you're gonna fall apart. Like she's very in your face with her energy and not as soft and gentle as some other deities may be. But because of her fiery energy, this deck, even though it is the Tarot of the Orishas, which is an African, North African, I believe, tradition. I don't know as much about the Orishas. It's something I'm still learning about, something I'm still practicing with. This deck is something I'm still practicing with, so I will be using the book along with my reading. But this deck itself just has such a fiery energy for me. It's just so just alive and energetic, and like it's very, it makes me think of fire. Whenever I think of what energy I could connect this deck to, I really think of fire. So I thought I'd give you a nice Bridget Imbolc reading today. Just a few cards. What is your energy for Imbolc? What is your energy for whoever this reading is meant for Imbolc? Thank you so much for being here. As you can probably guess, I probably won't have a weekend energy card for you, although I might pause and go grab that deck if I'm really feeling it. But let's see, what is your Imbolc message or Imbolc energy? What energy can we have from those beings, those gods of fire, those out there who just want us to do what needs to be done as we bring in and welcome back the sun and warmth? What is your energy for this day, for this Imbolc holiday? Please and thank you. What messages do we have? So you have the Outcast. Interesting. I've never seen this one. You have the Man. Okay. You have the Earth element. You have the Seven of Air. So when I was shuffling, this card actually kind of fell out, and I just put it back in my hand, but it came out. And then last but not least, you have Eight of Fire. So let's see, what do we have here? We have the Outcast. The energy that I am getting from this card is a person not necessarily outcast by someone else, but by choice, like a person who decides to leave and decides to take some time. I feel, like I said, I've never read with this deck on its own, and I'm still practicing, but I do feel like this has a lot of connection with the Hermit energy, someone who is freer when they're alone, whereas the Hermit is a lot more about retreating inward and taking some time away from outside distractions to sort of meditate, to think a lot, to really internally grow. I feel like this Outcast is a lot more outward energy. It's someone who wants to be alone, but to gather information, to study, to read, to learn something like dance or music, something that makes them feel good and exciting. I don't know. I feel like this is just a very positive kind of joyful, dancey energy, and maybe it's his position here that's making me feel that this is more of a dancing kind of energy, more of someone who doesn't fit the idea of of what he's supposed to be, of how society says he's supposed to be, or what society says he's supposed to be, or says he's supposed to do. You know, someone who just does his own thing, who dances to his own tune, even maybe more full energy than hermit energy. Someone who has to kind of do things by your own beat in order to find joy, to find comfort, authenticity, and love. I feel like there's a very positive energy here. Let's see what the book says about the outcast. Where is the outcast? I don't know. I don't know. Where do I find him? I just said that I don't know. Sorry guys. It's been a day where music is it's the best way to deal with things. So, we're looking for the outcast. Interesting, interesting, interesting. This book is not showing me an outcast. So this book, which I enjoy, it's a really good book, comes with a deck. I got this book and deck at Witches Fest in New York, which happens every year. But the book will have different names on the cards than what the card I pick up has, and so sometimes I have to look for the image instead of the actual name of the card. Come now. Thank you so much for your patience as I flip through this very thick, giant book of mine to see what it says about the outcast. And it's like that it doesn't exist. What's happening here, guys? Where's the outcast? Seriously. Okay, forgive me for taking this long. I did not expect it to be this troubling just to find one card. That is different. Similar, but not the same. Okay, well, while I'm still kind of looking for that, I will give you the next card, which is the Man. And I feel with the Man here, I feel there's just a lot of balanced energy. It's very much about finding balance within yourself, finding stability, getting more spiritually connected, taking the time to really connect with your physical self, find a way to meld that with your spiritual self, if that makes any sense. Let's see what the book says about the outcast. I finally found it. There may be an overwhelming and difficult to handle situation or attitude. You may find yourself dealing with unease or nervousness, but lightheartedness at the same time. You may have to deal with childish behavior, laziness, complacence, lyricism, immoderate or unrestrained and misunderstood altruism, hypersensitivity, although seemingly numb to feelings, which may be a mental block, need to suffer or mature, total incongruity, sickness, madness, yet geniality at the same time, meaning that he is not using his powers, intelligence, or creative imagination, which is significant. His reactions are hard to explain, understand, or control. He sees the trees but not the forest. He loses himself in unnecessary details, and his priorities change. His love affairs are conflicting and morbid, and he tends to abandon them. He may be a great poet who will never finish a single tercet, a great musician who will never perform his symphony, an excellent sculptor or painter who will never complete his piece or work of art, an inveterate bohemian who will drown his pain in alcohol, bar talk, or spending nights without any set purpose or objective. Lack of tenderness or love. If you find yourself in this situation, change immediately to avoid sinking into the abyss. Do not wait until pain knocks at your door to bring you back to reality. If it is not you but another person, help immediately to free them from the freezing catharsis. Remember, he needs affection and understanding immediately. As this card is completely ambivalent, it may present various contradictory and opposite situations. Therefore, he may change what has been said before and go back to the right path, or else his weaknesses and/or deficiencies may become aggravated and irreversible. He has suicidal instincts, sexual perversion, obsessive neurosis, uncontrolled psychism, cynicism, psychical vampirism, or 1,000 masks for a single face because he does not know who he is or where he is going. Okay, that's very kind of different than what I was saying. It is something about someone who is different, someone who stands out, someone who doesn't fit in with the crowd. And then I did have a thought earlier that it may have to do with some transition you're facing in your life, whether that's a physical gender transition, whether that is a mental, emotional transition that you're going through. I did feel that this has some transitional energy to it. And with what the book says, it's very contradictory in its energy, but I like what I said. With the star, I did say that I find some balance. I feel like there needs to be a connection between your physical body and your spiritual body, your spiritual self. I do think that this is all about... I think this is also very positive. I still think the outsider card was, or the outcast card was positive in the way that I read it. And I do think this is also very, very positive in its energy. And like I said, for me, it says that you need to connect spiritually and physically with yourself, with your higher deity, in whatever way that means to you. Let's see what the book says about the star. It represents faith and hope, favorable prospects, qualities of the soul, creation, inspiration, creativity, mentalism, and psychism. If it were upside down, you may be dealing with unanswered questions and uneasiness, dogmatism, obfuscation, bewilderment, obstinacy, hopelessness and lack of faith, surrendering to difficulties, spiritual uneasiness, total lack of restraint, and materialism. Okay, the next card we pulled was the earth element, which I think means that you need grounding. So if these cards are all to be read together, as I often do, then we have someone who is going through a transition or a change in their life, someone who is not fitting in with everyone else, someone who kind of does his own thing, goes by his own beats, and then has to follow through with faith, with spirituality, with connecting spiritually and physically. And I think this is another reminder that you need to connect physically with yourself. You have to find grounding in yourself. Really try to keep your thoughts based in reality today, over this weekend as well, throughout this Imbolc energy, the next 3 days. Really try to keep your thoughts in reality. Don't get too obsessive. Don't think about things as what ifs. Think about what is. Okay? Do not focus on what ifs this weekend. Focus on what is. Oh, that's cool. The other cards don't have this, but this card has these little zodiac symbols on here. Can you see that? Let's see. Focus. Okay, it's hard to focus, but I don't necessarily remember what these are. I think it's Aries, Scorpio, and something else. But they have these cute little symbols on the bottom. Didn't notice. The message that I was getting, like I said, is just be very much focused on what is happening right now. What are you dealing with right now? How do you react and handle what's happening right now instead of what can be or what the possibilities are and what ifs or what you hope things can be or what you're afraid of things turning into. So let's see what the book says about the earth elements, which I also think the cards that say the something element, the earth element, the air element, the water, the fire element, I think these are the aces in the deck. Not 100% sure because I am bad at studying. Forgive me. Earth elements. So, the signs that we have corresponding are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Cool. Earth is a feminine and passive element. All the materiality is given by the earth. Relate all aspects and interests connected with it. Take into account the dates that govern the 3 signs belonging to it. Characteristics include meticulousness, pragmatism, determination, and assurance. Also a restrained or restraining situation. If this card came upside down, it would be similar to the above with changes in the characteristics and situation. With regard to the former, you may be dealing with stubbornness, obstinacy, avarice, and criticism. With regard to the situation, the latter, you may be dealing with an unrestrained or unrestrainable situation, okay? I do think that this is in the upright position as it comes out. I always read upright, but sometimes I'll feel whether it means one thing or another. And I do feel like this is more about really connecting with that earth, connecting with that pragmatism, like I said, thinking about what is right now, how can you deal with what's going on right now, how can you be more grounded in the present. That includes, like with the star, being more grounded within your body, within your physicality, and being more connected with your higher self, your spiritual self, in the moment, okay? So let's see, what did we have next? We had the Seven of Air, this beautiful card that had jumped out on us. And with this card, I do think maybe there's the message of nurturing, of bringing something into being, because we have these little baby birds, and it just feels to me like it's time for you to nurture something into being, whether that's a creative idea, whether you're bringing something new to your life, whatever it is, new to your relationship, then this is telling you to put that energy into it, blow some life into it, give it that loving, energetic, oxygenated kind of care, that nurture that it needs. And I do think that this feeds right into that fire energy that we have in the next card, because as you know, the more air you have, the more oxygen you have, the bigger your fire is going to be in most cases. Although, of course, air can blow fire out, you also need air to stoke it. And I think that's your message here. Stoke the fires, whatever new ideas you're having, whatever it is you're going through as the outcast. So I do feel like the outcast is representing your energy. You're the person who is on the outside. You're the person who is doing things your own way, doing things the way society doesn't want you to, and really going through this type of transition, whatever it is for you, to get more in tune with your body, more in tune with who you are, on a soul level as well as physically. And then you're more able to get grounded in the now, to deal with issues right here, right now as they come to you. And then you'll be more able to kind of fill up that, to kind of start blowing energy towards your goals, towards your dreams, whatever it is that you're trying to make come through or come true. Let's see what the book says about the Seven of Air. Of Air. Where are you at? So this represents the possibility of being abandoned, having a lack of resources, a loss of objects or people. See how different these cards are? They're so... the absence of guidelines may bring about moments of desperation, confusion, or futile efforts. Asking for relief. Be okay with asking for relief and or help. If it was upside down, it could represent wanting is part of the past. Promising times will return. Mother-like archetypes will be met again. So that nurturing energy will be met again. Interesting. It's so different from the way that I felt it. But yeah, like I still feel like you need to be putting energy into your goals, into your dreams. I do kind of like the representation, because in the book it does mention things like how they're basically in a desert and there is no mother in the scene, even though these are baby chicks, which is where I got the nurturing energy. That actual nurturing figure is missing. So that's just something to think about. Like if you're someone who is studying tarot or studying cards, every deck is a little bit different. The images on the deck have a lot to say, but so do the things that are missing. Like I said, the mother is missing here. So if you are studying tarot or anything like that, those are some fun things to really just think about. It's not something I'm saying as part of this reading at this moment. I still feel like what I felt is the message we're going with here, okay? So last but not least, of course, we have the Eight of Fire. And with the, oh, cool. So we had 7 to 8. So again, like I said, I do feel like that 7 of Air is breathing right into, is transitioning, moving right into this 8 of Fire. And that with this energy, you have, it's a very direct, masculine kind of energy. There's something happening. It's like explosive, new understandings, an explosive idea, something that there's a huge like change coming for you, and it's something for you to, I think, prepare yourself for, which is what those other cards are bringing you to. But this change is going to really alter your life in some significant way. This may not happen today, it may happen like next week, it may happen in a few days, but whatever it is, it's going to like upset some things for you, whether that's like your home where you're living. You might find out that it's time to move, you might get a new job offer, you might have a new relationship plan in mind or something like that. Like, it's something that's pretty significant to your life. It's going to bring like about a big change, a big explosion of passion. There's going to be some excitement. It's not something that you won't notice. Okay, so let's see what the book says about the 8 of Fire. 8 of Fire. What is dormant, calm, quiet, or asleep has been awakened with much versatility, with an almost spontaneous agility. You did not expect this reaction, which is perhaps a little sudden, but it is effective. Quick messages, either oral, written, or graphic, or through diverse advertising campaigns, will have repercussions and cause reactions at different levels and within different contexts. A passionate love suddenly comes to light after hiding for many years, perhaps because of lack of courage to show it. If this card came upside down, you may deal with the end of your explosion. The explosion has stopped at all levels. It seems to have vanished, but this is not the case. There is simply a delay or instability, a period of rest, calm, deceleration, or retardation in the above mentioned areas. Okay, so things, if you're not feeling the explosive energy, it could be saying that things are slowing down. But I am getting with this card that we are getting this explosive energy. Something new is coming. Like the book said, it could be new love, it could be a new job, it could be time to change your career, time to change your home. Something kind of significant, like I said. Okay, there will be significant changes for you. Be on the lookout for those. You're already kind of in this process of transition from whatever life you've been living in, whoever you've been feeling forced to be. You're starting to be a lot more sure of who you are, a lot more grounded in your reality and in your life and in your body and in your spirituality. You're becoming a lot more connected with yourself and with your own truth, and that's going to guide you to this explosive place where you're feeding ideas into or you're feeding energy into your ideas. Okay, so I hope that was enjoyable. I will try this again sometime as I continue learning with this deck. It's really fascinating. I am a lazy learner, but I am trying my best. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I will see you Monday. By then you should also be getting your monthly reading for the month of February. Have a beautiful, wonderful, and amazing weekend. Remember always that I love you. Bye.